Good morning, students. Last time we studied Kingdom Monera. This time we are going to study Kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista. All single-celled eukaryotes are placed under Protista, but the boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. What may be a photosynthetic protestant to one biologist may be plant to another. इसका मतलब यही है कि प्रोटिस्टा के जो मेंबर्स हैं वो दूसरे तीन किंगडम दैट इज़ फंजाई, प्लांट और एनिमल से भी सिमिलैरिटीज शो करते हैं. इन दिस बुक वी इंक्लूड क्राइजोफाइट्स, डाइनोफ्लैजुलेट्स, यूग्लिनॉइड्स, स्लाइम मोल्स and protozoans under Protista. Members of Protista are primarily aquatic. This kingdom forms a link with the others dealing with plant, animal and fungi. Being eukaryote, the cell body consists of well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. Some have flagella or cilia. Protists reproduce asexually and sexually by process involving cell fusion and zygote formation. The first group in Protista is Chrysophyte. This group include diatoms and golden algae, that is desmids. They are found in freshwater as well as marine environment. They are microscopic and float passively in water currents. Most of them are photosynthetic. In diatoms, the cell wall form two thin overlapping shells which fit together as in a soap box. The walls are embedded with silica and thus the walls are indestructible. सेल ऑर्गेनिज्म के डेथ के बाद भी इसका सेल वॉल जो है वो ख़त्म नहीं होता, डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं होता और इसीलिए वो पीछे छूट जाता है. लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ सेल वॉल डिपॉजिट्स इन देयर हैबिटेट कॉजेज एक्यूमुलेशन ओवर बिलियन ऑफ ईयर्स एंड फॉर्म्स डायएटोमेशियस अर्थ. ये इकट्ठा होकर पूरी एक लेयर बना देता है जिसे कहते हैं डायटोमेशियस अर्थ. बीइंग ग्रिटी, it is used as soil for polishing, filtration of oils and syrups. Diatoms are the chief producers in the oceans. Dinoflagellates. These organisms are mostly marine and photosynthetic. They appear yellow, green, brown, blue or red depending on the main pigments. The way chlorophyll gives green color, there are some other pigments named as phycoerythrin, fucoxanthin and phycocyanin which gives different colors to the organisms. The cell wall has stiff cellulose plates on their outer surface. Most of them have two flagella. One lies longitudinally and other transversely in a furrow between the wall plates. Very often, red dinoflagellates, example Goniolax, undergo such rapid multiplication that they make the sea appear red and causes red tides. Toxins released by such large number may even kill other marine animals such as fishes. Next group is euglenoids. Majority of them are freshwater organisms found in stagnant water. Instead of cell wall, they have a protein-rich layer called pellicle, which makes their body flexible. They have two flagella, one short and one long. Other than the dinoflagellates, they also have two flagella, but one longitudinal and other transversal. Here one is short and one is long. Though they are photosynthetic in presence of sunlight, when deprived of sunlight, they behave like heterotrophs by predating on some other smaller organisms. Predate करना मतलब शिकार करना. Interestingly, the pigments of euglenoids are identical to those present in higher plants, क्योंकि वो भी photosynthesis करते हैं. Example is euglena. We can see here in the diagram how euglena possess of two flagella, one long and one short. Next is slime molds. Slime molds are saprophytic, means they survive on dead and decaying matter. The body moves on dead and decaying twigs and leaves, engulfing organic matter. Under suitable conditions, They form an aggregation called plasmodium, which may grow and spread over several feet. During unfavorable condition, the plasmodium differentiates into fruiting bodies bearing spores at their tips. Here we can see the slime mold. The spores possess true walls. They are extremely resistant and survive for many years, even under adverse conditions. The spores are dispersed by air currents. विच मीन्स दैट स्लाइम मोल्ड अनफेवरेबल कंडीशन में अपने आप को स्पोर्स में कन्वर्ट कर लेते हैं, जो कि बहुत ही रेजिस्टेंट स्ट्रक्चर होता है और बहुत सालों तक एडवर्स कंडीशन में एज इट इज़ रह सकता है. नेक्स्ट एंड द लास्ट ग्रुप ऑफ प्रोटिस्टा इज प्रोटोजोआन्स. दे आर heterotrophs and live as predator or parasite. They are believed to be primitive relatives of animals. There are four major groups of protozoans. First is amoeboid protozoan. Organisms live in freshwater, seawater, or even on the moist soil. They move and capture food or their prey by putting out their pseudopodia, false feet, as in amoeba. Some forms also have silica shells which are marine on their surface. Some of them, like ant amoeba, are parasites also. Next group is flagellated protozoans. The members of this group are either free living or parasitic. They have flagella. The parasitic form causes diseases such as sleeping sickness. Example is Trypanosoma cruzi. Next is ciliated protozoans. These are aquatic, actively moving organisms because of the presence of thousands of cilia. They have a cavity, gullet, that opens to the outside of the cell surface. The coordinated movement of rows of cilia causes the water laden with food to be steered into the gullet. Example is Paramecium. Paramecium is well known for its unique shape. Here we can see the paramecium with many cilia along its periphery, as well as we can see gullet through which the food along with the water enters to the body of the paramecium. Next is the sporozoans. This include diverse organisms that have an infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. The most notorious is Plasmodium. You know Plasmodium? Malarial parasite. It causes malaria, a disease which has staggering effect on human population. सालों से हम सब इस बीमारी से जूझते चले आ रहे हैं और हर साल ड्यूरिंग मॉनसून सीजन इसके केसेस बढ़ते हुए दिख रहे हैं. Here we can see in this slide of the sample of blood of an infected man. The light purple color shows the normal human blood cells and the dark purple shows the organism Plasmodium which causes malaria. Kingdom Plantae, the next kingdom, includes all the eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organisms commonly called plants. A few members are partially heterotrophic such as insectivorous like bladderwort and Venus flytrap and parasitic such as Cuscuta. The plant cells have an eukaryotic structure with prominent chloroplast and cell wall mainly made up of cellulose. We will study the eukaryotic cell in more detail in the next chapter, chapter number 8, and we will study the classification of kingdom Plantae into many divisions in the next chapter, chapter number 3. Life cycle of plants have two distinct phases, the diploid sporophytic and the haploid gametophytic, that alternate with each other. The lengths of the haploid and diploid phases and whether these phases are free living or dependent on others vary among different groups in plants. This phenomenon is also called alternation of generation. Next is kingdom Animalia. This kingdom is characterized by heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that are multicellular and they lack cell wall. They are directly or indirectly dependent on plant for their food. They digest their food in an internal cavity and store food reserves as glycogen or fat. Their mode of nutrition is holozoic, that is, they ingest the food. They follow a definite growth pattern and grow into adults that have a definite shape and size. Higher forms show elaborate sensory and neuromotor mechanisms. Most of them are capable of locomotion. The sexual reproduction is by copulation of male and female, followed by embryological development. Cell and features of various phyla are described in chapter 4. We can see the classification also there. Next is virus, viroids, prions, and lichens. In the five kingdom classification of Whitaker, there is no mention of lichens and some acellular organisms like virus, viroid, and prion. Since they are acellular, they are not placed in either of the five kingdoms. These are briefly introduced here. All of us who have suffered the ill effects of common cold or flu know what effects virus can have on us, even if we do not associate it with our condition. Virus did not find a place in classification since they are not considered truly living. If we understand living as those organisms that have a cell structure. So viruses do not have cell structure, hence they are acellular or non-cellular organisms that are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure outside the living cell. Once they infect a cell, they take over the machinery of the host cell to replicate themselves, killing the host. Would you call viruses living or non-living? They are actually the connecting link between non-living and living. The name virus, that means venom or poisonous fluid, was given by Dmitry Ivanovsky in 1892, who recognized certain microbes as casual organisms of the mosaic disease of tobacco. Here is the tobacco mosaic virus. These were found to be smaller than the bacteria because they passed through the bacteria proof filters. M.W. Beijerinck in 1898 demonstrated that the extract of infected plants of tobacco could cause infection in healthy plants and called the fluid as Contagium vivum fluidum, that is infectious living fluid. W. M. Stanley in 1935 showed that the viruses could be crystallized and crystals consist largely of protein. They are inert outside their specific host cell. Viruses are obligate parasites. In addition to protein, virus also contain genetic material that could be either RNA or DNA. No virus contain both RNA and DNA. A virus is a nucleoprotein and the genetic material is infectious. In general, viruses that infect plants have single-stranded RNA and viruses that infect animals have either single or double-stranded RNA or they may have double-stranded DNA. Bacterial viruses or bacteriophages are the viruses that infect bacteria. They usually are double-stranded DNA viruses. The protein coat called capsid, made up of small subunits called capsomeres, protect the nucleic acid. These capsomeres are arranged in helical or polyhedral geometric forms. Viruses cause diseases like mumps, smallpox, herpes, influenza. AIDS in human is also caused by virus. In plants, the symptoms may be mosaic formation, leaf rolling, curling, yellowing, and vein clearing, dwarfing and stunted growth. Viroids. In 1971, T.O. Danier discovered a new infectious agent that was smaller than virus and caused potato spindle tuber disease. It was found to be a free RNA. It lacked protein coat that is found in virus, hence named viroid. The RNA of the viroid was of low molecular weight. Prions. P for protein and pre for prions. So just learn in this way. In modern medicine, certain infectious neurological diseases were found to be transmitted by an agent consisting of abnormally folded protein. The agent was similar in size to virus. These agents were called prions. They consisted protein but not genetic material, that is RNA or DNA. The most Notable disease caused by prions are bovine spongiform encephalopathy BSE, commonly called as mad cow disease in cattle, and CJD CR Jacob disease in human. Lichens are symbiotic association, that is mutually useful association between algae and fungi. In this, algae helps fungi and fungi helps algae. The algal component is phycobiont while fungal component is mycobiont. Algal component is autotrophic while fungal component is heterotrophic. Algae prepare food for fungi and fungi provide shelter as well as absorb mineral, nutrients and water for its partner. So close is their association that if one see a lichen in nature, one would never imagine that they had two different organisms within them. Lichens are very good pollution indicators. They do not grow in polluted areas. They grow only in the areas with minimal pollution. Hence, they are used as pollution indicators. It is a lichen. In this chapter, out of these topics, we have covered kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia, virus, viroid, and lichen. Now, the remaining topic, kingdom fungi, we will cover in the next lecture. Till then, keep studying.